Yeah, I would too.
But I like that better.
You?
Yeah, I like that better.
Oh yeah.
I was like a baby. I like when I started off.
Did you see ever this Gilmore Girls?
Is that?
It was on the TV show. It was funny because he was playing bass with Victor there.
What is he doing now? I mean, he was a long time doing sort of.
I think he's playing again with
Broadway or something like that.
I
right?
think it's back on the road again, playing with Skid Row. Yeah, it was a reunion years ago, as far as I know.
Oh, it's coming back.
Sebastian Bach. Yeah. Look, okay, we have some questions. We're gonna start with the.
Yeah.
All right, about the band. How does it feel to be in Spain again, doing the promo for the new with the new album with Kai and you together after so long?
It's great. It's great. It's just we don't see that much.
Yeah.
You know, it's just getting here to the hotel and then all the time.
Yeah.
But we're here for about, I think, 3 days.
You're gonna be here for 3
I
days?
think so.
Or you've been here already?
Yeah, we will be. We just arrived this morning.
All right.
Very early. So yeah, I mean, I haven't been here. I mean, they told me that I have been here like 92 something, 91, 92 the last time.
Must be, yeah, last time.
I thought it was in the 80s. I really thought it was in the 80s, but.
And you never came here after for the
no,
tourist
I hardly. I was in New York in '96, and I think '98 I was in England, but that was it. Mainly just Hamburg.
All right.
Yeah.
And what impression do you have about Spain, or what do you remember from the last time? Well,
As much as I remember, I do remember Spain, Portugal, and Italy, and I mean from those days, I just remember very passionate audiences. I thought it was always very cool, not cool, like the opposite of cool, heated.
Heated, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Passionate people.
Yeah. I don't know if you still like that, but that's what it was last time we played here. I mean, especially in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah, back in the 80s. Look, this question is a little bit complex in Spanish. I'm going to try to translate it, but it takes a while. Okay, so Unisonic, well, you can see from outside to Unisonic as a super band. People with a lot of name, you know, in your band.
Yeah.
Name, that's a name. There's some people say like a temporary project.
No,
Unisonic.
No, that's different now.
No?
Yeah,
Is your intention to make a band out of it?
Yeah, it's a band. It's really a band.
Yeah.
Projects I did enough now. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you're on your own as a singer without a band, you just do whatever it's interesting to do. But that's really a band, and I'm happy to have a band again, or to be in a band. I don't have the band. I am part of it. It's great. It has its own dynamics. You know.
Yeah.
Things go a lot easier in a band.
It's easier for you.
Much easier.
Nowadays, it's easier to be in a band.
It just generally band, as long as you get along, of course. When you get along, bands are easier because it's not just on your shoulder, everything, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like a work team. I think it's easier.
Yeah,
to work
I don't have to write a song if I don't feel like it, you know.
Yeah.
The others write songs. If I have a song, I put it in. If I don't, I don't have to.
Yeah, perhaps you don't have all the pressure.
You don't
in your
have
house.
any pressure there,
Yeah.
you know. I can be just a singer if I want to.
Right. And so, like, this is like a really strange question, but I'm gonna make you anyway.
Don't worry.
All right. Okay, so because this is true. I mean, we have been hearing this one for a long time. So I'm gonna ask you. So, what do you think about? Many people says that this band wouldn't be nothing like the pre-reunion of Halloween. What do you think about it?
How can it be? I mean, it's
But there's
okay.
many. I mean, if you start searching it, and many people assure that. I mean, how can they be so sure about something?
I mean, in a way, it is. I mean, me and Kai being together. I mean, it's like the singer is always giving a lot of the sound for the band, you know. And Kai was a key songwriter for Halloween. It's just like when Kai writes a song and I sing it, it'll always have a bit of that sound. I mean, we're not trying to reject that or anything. I mean, why should we? But we were not thinking about that. We knew this would come up. But we do the same thing as we did in the early days. We just write the music we wanted to do. It's like when people have these funny ideas about that this could sound like Halloween. Maybe it does to a certain extent from the spirit, but we would never, even if Kai would have never left Halloween and we would have done a record together after the Keeper 2 record, I don't think it would have sounded like Keeper 2. I mean, look at Waltz of Jericho.
Oh yeah.
Then we did Keeper 1, totally different sounding record. Then we did Keeper 2, not totally different sounding, but a different sounding record again. Then Kai left and everything was different. But it's like, you don't know when he would have stayed in the band what the next record would have sounded like. That's what I always loved about the early Halloween years, that we were not afraid. We were just having fun with it and did what we thought was cool to do.
Oh yeah.
Even though the record company worried and stuff like that, we just did it. And the same thing here. We're trying to keep all that away and just whatever, you have to entertain yourself. You have to make a song convincing to yourself. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, and if you're not excited about what you're doing, if you're trying to please others but yourself, how can it be convincing? It's impossible.
Yeah.
Nothing is authentic musically unless you do what you think is cool to do. And since we're all older and whatever, it would be silly if we would sound the same way. But in a way, Kai has his own style still. I have my singing style, and you will always notice, and that's still there.
Yeah.
Let's see where it leads us,
Yeah, it's like what I call back to basic, no?
Yeah, I mean, I love working with Kai again. Kai is just a very beautiful person, and it's great fun to be with him.
Yeah, we can see
he's really good for
together.
me. He's really good for me.
Yeah, there's something that you can see as we are listening to the album. It sounds great. I mean, it's something.
And
so
I love
natural.
it. I love it that people say that because we don't know. We can't tell. When you produce a record, very quickly you're lost in details.
We have listened to some streams that actually you sent us a stream album.
Yeah.
And it sounds great.
Yeah.
Not just about the sound is, of course, because it's very actual.
Yeah.
But the composition of the music sounds so natural, so fresh.
Yes.
Again, it's fresh.
Because I mean, even Kai, if you ask him, I mean, we're not the kind of person. I hope you believe that we're not the kind of people who just talk something because we have to promote the record.
Oh, yeah.
We always say what we feel. I always say what I think. Sometimes people don't like that, but I stay that way. I speak my mind, and it really is a good vibe going on. I mean, even Kai is really enjoying this. For him, it's like refreshing. He's not going to stop Gamma Ray. Nobody has to worry about it.
Yeah, it's what I keep saying.
We'll keep on doing that. But this is for him like a vitamin shot. Something new. You need that as a musician once in a while. I needed that anyway. I had a long time off.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that question. And do you have? Did you ever think? Well. On this album, do you think already to make like a North American tour with the band, or just Europe, South America, and Japan?
I'd love to. I can't tell you anything about the North American market. I loved touring the US.
Yeah,
I don't know how it is nowadays. Last time I have been in the US, in New York, was 96, 69, 96. Yeah, sure. I'm too tired already.
No.
It was 96 when we shot the Always video there with 3 guys. That was the last time that I was in New York. Yeah. In America, and I love America. I love the people. I love the country. It was awesome to tour there. But I know what the scene is like. I don't know if they're interested.
Yeah.
I have to see what happens.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not something that you already like part.
Yeah, I like to play everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. Because actually, I'm from Chile. Off the record.
We will be going to South
Exactly.
America.
My brother asked me if you have some expectation about the South American people. I know that you were in Argentina.
I was there for the first time in
JC.
2010, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
It was like.
So yeah, exactly. Well, we were waiting. Well, they were waiting because actually my brother came here and we saw you in the Wacken Festival. He was so pissed off that you couldn't make it, to go to Chile. So he came here to Europe. We went to watch you.
Yeah, that was a good gig. In South America, I was pretty sick. I had the flu was going on all over the band, and as soon as we got to like Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, I almost had no voice, and I hated that because people were so excited.
Yeah,
it's the first time that I'm there, and I was like,
I remember this.
I survived, but it was not. I mean, I hope. I mean, this time, if I don't catch anything, flus just fuck me up.
Yeah,
after
everyone. Yeah, have you seen some videos like from YouTube with your presentations in Brazil or Argentina? Just ole ole.
Awesome.
Kiske, all the stadiums. Yeah.
That was that was one key experience.
That gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I still remember it. Getting it. It was like when Kai and I walked on stage. It was unbelievable. The vibe.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And then that's where we started talking. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And it's just like feels so right.
I think you can expect sort of the same here in Spain. The people is very rushing, waiting for the moment. It's so long to wait until October. But
I'm not with Kai on the stage. I have not been with Kai on the stage for 20 years.
Yeah.
See how old I am.
24. 44?
I'm 24.
All right.
Yeah, 44 exactly. Still okay. I started young. It was good. I joined Halloween when I was 17.
Well, but your voice sounds great.
Yeah. Better than ever. I mean, better sound.
You have all this trust in yourself. You should have it. I mean.
I'm very happy with how the voice sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone, I think. Everybody is happy to have you back.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. It's a great. I don't know how long it lasts. I hope it lasts long, but so far I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Look, now regarding to the album. Let's go to the album.
Sure.
Yeah, looks. Here comes a lot of questions, so we're trying to make the smarty ones.
Yeah, we gotta keep in mind we only have 3 hours,
Now we're gonna try to make it quicker. How many minutes will you have already? Like 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Alright. When you ever say that it's ready?
They come.
No, when you ever say it's ready. I mean, for us.
I don't know.
No.
Alright.
It's
Our
our
responsibility.
Like, how was the? Thank you. How was the work in the composition with the disc? There was a lot of like work in the practice room, or you're writing this in the studio, or through internet, like using like internet platform, like normally would they use a lot of bands.
We do that too. I mean, it's like the main working process was in a rehearsal room, like throwing all ideas together and trying to. I mean, that makes the band.
Brainstorm.
You have to check it out. What does that sound like? As soon as the basics were done, we started recording, and then it was a mixed thing. Kai told me that they did the drums in Belgium, and then they rented a room for guitars. I did the vocals in my own studio, totally relaxed. My time schedule. I like that. Kai did overdubs sometimes at his place, and we send it around and stuff. I mean, that's the way. We're not living in the same. I mean, Kai and I, we do live in the same city, but the rest of the guys are somewhere more in the south.
Yeah.
And Mandy is in Switzerland, based in Switzerland. So it's like thanks to the internet, you can work a lot faster.
Yeah. Well, so the album sounds quite fresh.
Yeah.
Actually, so we know that Dennis Ward has mainly like worked with the producer, worked with Angra or Exis, Blaze Van Dam. Did work made or produced this album, or did work on it?
He produced
Dennis Ward. He was the producer of the album.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have something special that you like from the album in general, or something that you could say this is the best thing of the album, whatever thing like?
I have my favorite tunes.
Uh-huh.
I like the songs for what they are. I really like We Rise, Star Rider. Those stick out. I like them all for what they are, but these two also surprised me because I didn't think that they would end up to be so good.
Yeah.
Star Rider, Kai did a new chorus. Everything was there, but the chorus was not mega strong. So it's like Kai wrote a new one, and now it's like a very strong number. It's one of my personal favorites. But that's the way. That makes a good band, I think.
Yeah.
You get a song to a certain point, and then someone else. How about that? Something you wouldn't have thought about.
Yeah, it makes you happy all together.
Yeah, that's the whole meaning of being in a band. If you're not better together, what's the point?
Yeah. And do you have any support or like good support from the label with all this crisis? Not just with the like a normal crisis, the market, only with the downloading and everything.
I'm really so far they're like really good. I mean, they're like spending a lot of money and they're really motivated. I mean, sometimes a bit too much even.
Yeah.
It's like it's a bit tight the schedule sometimes, but it's like we really can't complain. What is this guy? He is out. Do you have a pass? No, they're really like working old style. That was surprising. I never thought that the label. I never thought that I would experience something like that.
So enthusiastic. Yeah.
We're like main priority at the moment for them.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays it's very difficult. Something very difficult to get.
Yeah.
And regarding to this single Unisonic, because we think that it's very heavy metal.
It's a metal
sound.
track. Yeah.
Very straight and very sticky, like in your ears. But if you go forward in the disc, you realize that the disc is very rocker with a lot of influence. Like this song has Never Changed Me or Never Too Late, which sounds very rock. They're a little bit of commercial, we say.
Sure.
Yeah, this is how do you define the Unisonic style for somebody who never has listened to this
It's
before?
a rock
It's a rock
band
band.
that ranges from metal to even popish stuff. Like, actually, that's what Halloween was about too, in a way. Yeah, it's funny now that those keyboard records ages ago, people have an idea about it and think it's we made certain things metal. I Want Out, Future World, Dr. Steam, Rise and Fall. Is that metal to you?
It falls under the definition of metal.
They made
somehow.
metal, but it is rock and roll. It's even pop sometimes. You know, that's what I loved about it. And actually, these two songs of his, "Never Change Me" and "Never Too Late," they remind me a bit of some of those tracks with that punkish, cheesy kind of vibe. You know.
Right.
I mean, when you look at "There's a million ways, future world," yes, it's a bit like that, you know.
Yeah, it's not so much of a difference.
It goes in that. To me, that was everybody else doesn't hear it like that, but to me, it was right away like that type of song in a way, you know.
Yeah, for me, I never make the match. For me, like
Don't
make a difference.
Don't. But it's like
yeah,
if people think it is, and I think that, especially those songs, have.
It's really strange. It's sometimes all about putting some stamp on something, because
People always do that.
you know, if you listen, let's take an example, Queensryche. Okay, what is Queensryche? Is that metal? They claim to be a metal band, but Jet City Woman, I mean
That's AOR.
Yeah.
that's fucking AOR, isn't it? And you know, okay, if we would have said from the beginning, we're doing a metal band, right? Metal, and we would have come up with this album, maybe there wouldn't be so much talk about rock. People would say, yeah, it's a heavy metal band. Okay, it's like, you know, the songs are not so brutal and whatever, but nobody would have any doubts. But since we said, and everybody knows that he's kind of, you know, like kind of, it's not metal, it's about rock. It's what you put on your sticker that people adapt to, and that's the kind of glasses they wear to see you, actually.
It was funny. We have had like total opposite of impressions that people have. We have had like journalists who think that's like we just now you continue where you stopped on Keeper 2. To some of them, you remember in Paris?
Yeah, sure.
A couple of people said that to them it's just a continuation of that, and then there's others who think it has absolutely nothing to do with it.
It's what they would like, perhaps.
It's the way you listen to it. I mean, if someone goes for just the spirit, it has a lot to do with it. If you expect us to copy elements from the past records, we're not really doing that, you know. And then you don't think. So it's like everybody has a different ear about it.
Okay, there might be one definite distinction to be made. What we don't have on the Unisonic album is like 160, 180 beats per minute double bass numbers.
Oh yeah.
We don't have that, and the fastest song we actually have is Unisonic, as far as I know.
Isn't My Sanctuary faster?
No.
Okay.
No, that's much easier.
I don't care about
So, and once, you know, people talk about heavy metal, power metal, that definition. So many people came up to me, yeah, you do power metal. I said, what the fuck is power metal? To me, it's heavy metal.
Yeah.
Power metal, it's double bass drum, fast, and so on. I said, okay, so Judas Priest did songs like Exciter in 1970, whatever.
Exactly.
Were they a power metal band? No, they were a fucking heavy metal band, you know, even other bands that did fast stuff before. So I think these definitions are kind of weird sometimes to me.
Yeah, but I think everybody look for something like to put in your mind, you know, to play something in some place. Exactly, a label, you know, to organize your mind.
But actually, if you look for definitions, they're kind of getting diffused. Even with black metal and death metal and so on, I cannot really see the distinction sometimes between. Is Slayer a death metal, a black metal, or a speed metal band?
Well, it depends. When I was 14, Slayer was the most satanic band ever.
No, Venom was.
Venom was. I didn't know Venom. So
Venom was before.
But then, for now, I mean, Slayer sounds like Poison or something. You know, if you listen to the other one, like Norwegian satanic something.
It's always the point of view. You know?
Depends of the time of your age.
The people need these kind of labels. I agree with you. They need this definition, but they always bring it up as a musician. And have questions of why this, why that, and that's weird for you. But if you don't function like that, you know, I don't care. I'm very musically. I'm very open-minded. or have always been. I've got into metal because I liked some bands and the music. Not because of a label or anything, you know. I just liked Priest and Maiden, the specific records that they did.
So we do.
That's why I got excited about metal. It was nothing about scenes or uniformation or that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I was listening to other stuff, Elvis.
It's all related in the point.
Bush, whatever. I like good music. I don't care.
Rock and roll.
Exactly. I think it's all related.
So okay, there's always some transformation of that kind of hard. Let's put it together as hard music with an edge, with some bite. Even like in the early 70s, glam rock was the hardest music to get. Sweet, Slade. That was the heavy metal of that time.
Or Black Sabbath was
Sabbath, right? Paranoid. That was probably the first really recognizable heavy metal song beyond Born to Be Wild, where the term heavy metal actually was invented.
But the other one we were discussing actually with a friend, like this Helter Skelter from Beatles. From that time it was like
very true. It's a good metal track.
It was it sounds so metal.
But back in the USSR,
Walk This Way, it's a rap song if you ask me. He was rapping there.
Walk This Way,
Walk This Way, that's rap.
It sounds right.
He said it even himself in an interview.
So the Beatles invented rap.
No, Aerosmith invented rap and the Beatles invented metal.
And I invented the Beatles.
But seriously,
you invented the world.
Seriously, these songs actually make crazy this guy who killed John Lennon, Helter Skelter. Sounds very like heavy metal in a way, no? Like sounds very.
That's why Motley Crue re-recorded it.
All right. So recently, Timo Tolkki, with which you collaborate in this Revolution Renaissance project. And one occasion, he announced it is already like out of the music, perhaps, So because it's very difficult to live out of it if you're a musician on the first row, let's say, like Metallica or Bon Jovi or whatever. Are you afraid that could happen someday?
Sure.
It is that very difficult to live out of the music nowadays?
No, for me, it was always okay.
Yeah.
But if you can't do it anymore, you have to do something else,
Yeah.
Makes no sense to think about it, but if it's a situation, what can you do?
Yeah. But you consider.
But on the other hand, if you don't get the possibility to make music, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
If people don't want what you're doing, why doing it? For yourself, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
If nobody wants to hear it, why release records,
2 minutos. All right.
I think there's a justification. If success says in a way that people like to hear what you do.
All right. Well, the last question. All right, the last final question, let's say. Well, we always listen that you have a special interest about religion, like for you, not religion, or something similar. Did you, at one point, like to put you or make you like live the heavy metal or put you apart? Is that true, or do you really believe in like in something superior stuff, like
very
a
spiritual.
superior being or something?
That's one of the main issues that I will always have with the metal scene.
Yeah.
That on one hand I like rocking music, I enjoy this type of music, I grew up with it, but I don't agree with idealizing evil. I don't agree with idealizing inhumanity and brutality and fascism and all that crap in all its various forms. I disagree with that, but it's not the priority. It seems like it when you look at magazines. You get the impression that that's like the main thing. It is certain magazines, but the fans are very diverse, and most of them I don't think so far away from me. At least the ones I talk to, they either don't take it serious or they disagree with it. Most metal and rock fans just like rocking music in the end.
Well, absolutely, and the bands itself. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, you got these guys looking pretty scary.
Yeah, but you're responsible for what they're doing.
And most of the bands that I know of, if you read the lyrics, even like the bands that have an image, or you get the impression, all right, they are promoting like brutality and whatever. If you read the lyrics, you see they do it in a brutal way, but they complain about war, about kissing, about like exactly that.
Well, that's a different story.
That's a different
story.
They just do it in another way. They express their anger and frustration in a very aggressive way.
It's fine to express anger. I have no problem with expressing frustration and anger. It's a different thing than idealizing brutality and lovelessness. being heartless, selling that as some form of strength to people, to young people especially.
Okay.
That's a poisoning of humanity. That shouldn't happen.
And even like if you look back a song like The Ripper from Priest, you could claim that Rob Halford said that The Ripper is a cool guy. You know,
No, he didn't.
he's like
No,
a really cool, scary guy, and he's like in favor of him. That's not the point. It's more like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like
But that's a different story. Priest is a different
Yeah.
story. You have bands out there who have very insane lyrics, and they idealize Satanism and all that stuff as some form of individualism, which it isn't. You know,
Yeah.
the animal in us doesn't make us individual. The animals don't have that. Group souls, and the individuality lies somewhere else, not in your evil forces.
So there's a lot to discuss always.
All right.
Very good.
You're on stage in 30 seconds.
How do you go to the Louvre?
All right. So,
Sorry to interrupt you like
all right.
this.
Thanks.